Welcome back to the deep dive where we take your sources, right, and turn them into aha moments.
That's right.
Today, we're tackling a topic that I know a lot of you out there are interested in buying your first rental property.
Yep.
We're going to be dissecting a video that breaks down the entire process, like step by step. And honestly, it's like having a real estate guru in your pocket.
It is. It's a fantastic resource. And it starts right at the beginning, like even before you start looking at properties.
Yeah.
Because believe me, you need to lay the groundwork first.
Right. I mean, I've definitely been guilty of like browsing listings,
Yeah.
daydreaming about being a landlord before I actually had all my ducks in a row.
Oh, yeah.
But this video, it makes it clear that you need to have a solid foundation before you even think about making an offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It all starts with the down payment. You'll typically need 15% to 20% of the purchase price ready to go.
Ouch. I know saving up for a down payment can feel like climbing Mount Everest,
It can.
especially these days.
Especially these days.
Trust me, I've been there. But the video emphasizes that having a larger down payment isn't just about showing the seller you're serious. It can actually save you a ton of money in the long run. How?
Exactly. A larger down payment means less money you need to borrow, which can translate to a lower interest rate on your mortgage.
Okay.
And those lower interest rates, they add up to serious savings over the life of the loan.
Right.
We're talking potentially thousands of dollars staying in your pocket instead of going to the bank.
Okay. That makes the whole saving thing a little less painful, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And speaking of things that make lenders happy, the video also talks about the importance of a good credit score.
Yes.
They recommend aiming for a score above 740 if you want the best interest rates.
Yeah. Think of your credit score like a report card for lenders. They're basically checking to see how responsible you are with money, right?
Right.
A high score says, this person pays their bills on time. They're a safe bet. That translates to more favorable loan terms and a smoother process overall.
Makes sense. So a good credit score is like having a golden ticket with lenders.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Now, here's a curveball that the video threw me.
Oh, okay.
It warns against going overboard with write-offs on your taxes.
Wait, why would you not want to lower your tax bill?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You might think, hey, lower taxes, more money in my pocket, right? But lenders, they see those low tax returns and they think, can this person really afford this loan?
Yeah.
It can actually hurt your chances of getting approved for a mortgage or getting the best rates.
That's the trap I almost fell into.
Mm-mm.
So basically, when it comes to taxes and mortgages, honesty is the best policy.
Definitely.
Okay.
Now, once you've got your finances in order, the video stresses the importance of talking to a lender before you start house hunting. And honestly, this is a step that so many first-time buyers skip.
Really?
And they end up kicking themselves later.
Yeah, I can see why. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of looking at properties and start, imagining yourself as a landlord. But if you haven't talked to a lender yet, you don't actually know what you can afford.
Right. You might fall in love with a place that's totally out of your price range. Or you might make an offer that gets accepted only to find out, oh, you can't qualify for a loan.
Oh, no.
Getting pre-approved by a lender takes the guesswork out of the equation. You know exactly how much you can borrow, which allows you to focus your search on properties that are actually within reach.
Plus, being pre-approved can make you a more competitive buyer.
Right. Absolutely. When you're pre-approved, you're essentially telling sellers, I'm serious, I'm qualified, and I can close quickly.
Right.
That can give you a real edge in a competitive market.
So once you're pre-approved and ready to start looking at properties, what does the video recommend?
It emphasizes the importance of exploring a lot of properties before you make an offer.
Okay.
Think of it like dating, right? You wouldn't marry the first person you meet.
Definitely not.
The video recommends viewing at least 20 to 25 homes in your price range. This helps you get a feel for the market, understand what's out there, and develop your own criteria for what makes a good investment.
That's a great point. I remember when I was first looking at properties, I had no idea what a good deal even looked like.
Yeah.
It took me a while to train my eye, and learn how to spot potential problems.
And speaking of spotting problems, the video highlights one of the biggest mistakes that new investors make, falling in love with a property's potential without considering the numbers.
Oh, I've been there. I almost bought this charming little bungalow once.
Uh-oh.
But when I actually crunched the numbers, it turned out that the rental income wouldn't even cover the mortgage.
Right. That's why the video emphasizes the importance of focusing on cash flow. You need to make sure that the property will generate enough rental income to cover all of your expenses: mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and even potential vacancies.
So cash flow is king.
Absolutely. The video actually drops a bombshell here, though. It claims that 95% to 98% of properties on the market don't actually cash flow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Seriously. So finding a good rental property is like finding a needle in a haystack.
It can feel that way, but the video provides a ton of valuable tips on how to calculate cash flow and choose properties that have the potential to be profitable. In fact, it actually breaks down a hypothetical $400,000 property and walks you through the entire process. It's really helpful.
Okay, so you've got your finances in order, you've talked to a lender, you're looking for properties that cash flow. What else should you be thinking about?
The video recommends sticking with certain types of properties, especially when you're starting out.
Hold on. Why are lenders so picky about property types? What's the logic there?
It all comes down to risk.
Okay.
Lenders, they feel more comfortable with properties that are easier to finance and resell if things go south, you know? Single-family homes and small multifamily units like duplexes or triplexes tend to be the safest bets. Think of it this way: smaller properties, easier loans; bigger properties, more hoops to jump through.
Okay, so if you're looking for the path of least resistance with financing, single-family homes and small multifamily units are the way to go.
Exactly. Now, once you've found a property that you think meets your criteria, the video gets into the renovation process.
Okay.
And here's a little secret: you don't always need to do a major overhaul to increase your profits.
Oh, tell me more about that. I'm all about getting the best bang for my buck.
The video suggests focusing on minor cosmetic upgrades like updating kitchens and bathrooms, which often yield the best return on investment. They actually share examples where investors spent around $30,000 on these types of renovations and saw their monthly cash flow jump by $600.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible return. So sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference.
Exactly. It's all about understanding what renters are looking for and making strategic improvements that will attract quality tenants and justify higher rents. But of course, it's not just about the property itself. The video stresses the importance of you know what's coming.
Location.
Location.
Oh, man. I once almost bought a place that backed up to a recycling plant. Thank goodness I dodged that bullet. But seriously, location can make or break your investment.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Would you want to live next to a recycling plant?
Nope.
Didn't think so? Neither would your tenants. You want to look for properties in desirable neighborhoods,
Right.
with good schools, low crime rates, and easy access to amenities and transportation.
Okay, so you found a property in a great location, you made some smart cosmetic upgrades, and you're feeling pretty confident. What happens next?
Well, you need to make an offer, of course,
Okay.
but the video reminds us that this is where things can get tricky, right? It's easy to get emotionally attached to a property, get caught up in a bidding war.
Oh, tell me about it. I've definitely been tempted to overpay in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. The video's host emphasizes the importance of sticking to your budget and walking away if the numbers don't make sense. He actually uses this strategy himself and says it saved him from making some costly mistakes.
That's some sage advice. And it makes me think of something else the video stressed: finding a good realtor.
Absolutely. A good realtor who understands the local market can be invaluable during the offer and negotiation process.
Right.
They can help you craft a competitive offer, navigate tricky situations, and protect your interests.
They're like your real estate wingman.
Exactly. But even if your offer gets accepted, your due diligence isn't over.
Oh, right.
The video stresses the importance of thorough inspections. They're like your secret weapon for uncovering any hidden problems before you close the deal.
I've used inspection reports to get thousands of dollars back from sellers.
Wow.
It's amazing what a good inspector can find.
Right. They can spot things that even the most experienced real estate investor might miss.
Yeah.
And those inspection reports can be powerful negotiating tools.
Okay.
You can use them to ask the seller to make repairs, lower the price, or even walk away from the deal if the problems are too extensive.
So inspections are basically like a safety net for buyers.
Exactly. They can save you a ton of money and heartache down the road. Now, assuming the inspection goes smoothly and you're ready to move forward, the next step is closing.
Okay.
But the video warns that you need to be prepared for closing costs and escrow fees.
Ugh, those can really add up. What kind of expenses are we talking about here?
The video suggests budgeting around 1% of the purchase price for these additional fees,
Okay.
which can include things like title insurance, appraisal fees, and government recording fees. Luckily, they actually provide a detailed breakdown of what to expect and even link to more information for those who want to dive deeper.
Okay, so we've navigated the offer process, survived the inspection, and we're almost at the finish line. What does the video say about the actual closing process?
Well, the video's host had some pretty funny stories about contractor mishaps and how being on site every day saved his budget.
Wait, hold on. What does that have to do with closing?
It's all about being prepared for the renovation process. Even if you're buying a property that's in move-in condition, chances are you'll want to make some updates, right, to maximize its rental potential. And the video emphasizes that being hands-on during the renovation process can save you a lot of money and headaches.
So even after closing, the work isn't over. But I guess it's all part of the adventure of being a landlord.
Exactly. And speaking of adventure, the video also has some great tips on how to rent out your property once it's ready for tenants.
Okay, this is where it gets really exciting. I'm already imagining that welcome home sign.
Yeah.
What does the video recommend for finding great tenants?
Well, they emphasize the importance of high-quality photos and responding to inquiries quickly.
You know, I've always wondered if professional photos are really worth the investment.
Trust me, they are. Think about it from a renter's perspective. You're scrolling through dozens, maybe even hundreds of listings online. Professional photos make your property stand out and create a sense of, I want to live there.
That's true. And about responding to inquiries quickly is just as important. Nobody wants to wait days for a response.
Exactly. The faster you respond, the more likely you are to snag a great tenant before someone else does. The video also recommends using a mix of popular websites to list your property, like Zillow and Apartments.com, as well as local classifieds and even social media.
Right.
The more exposure you get, the better.
That makes sense. Cast a wide net, attract more fish. But finding tenants is just one piece of the puzzle, right? What about screening them?
That's a topic that deserves its own deep dive, but the video does touch on the importance of thorough tenant screening. You want to make sure you're choosing responsible tenants who will pay their rent on time, take care of the property, and be good neighbors.
I've definitely had some interesting experiences with tenants over the years.
We've all been there, but we can save those stories for another time.
Deal. So we've covered a lot of ground. From saving for a down payment to finding tenants, what's the final takeaway from the video? What should listeners be thinking about as they embark on their rental property journey?
The video ends on a really inspiring note. It talks about scaling up your real estate portfolio over time and aiming to buy a duplex every other year as a strategy for building wealth.
Wow. A duplex every other year. That sounds ambitious,
It does.
but attainable.
Exactly. It emphasizes that real estate investing is a long game. It's not about getting rich quick, but building sustainable wealth over time. And the video actually lays out a compelling 10-year plan to illustrate how attainable this goal can be.
Okay, that's really eye-opening. Makes you realize the potential of, like, consistent effort and strategic planning.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that building wealth through real estate is possible, but it all starts with taking that first step.
It's so true. So we've walked through this whole video together, and I have to say, I'm already feeling more confident about taking that first step toward buying my first rental property.
It's amazing how much information they pack into that video, right?
Right.
And it's all presented in such a clear and actionable way.
Right.
It doesn't feel overwhelming even for someone who's totally new to real estate investing.
That's what I loved about it. It breaks down these complex concepts into manageable steps, it's like a roadmap to financial freedom through real estate.
And it addresses some of the biggest misconceptions head on.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought you needed to be like wealthy to even consider buying a rental property.
Right.
But this video shows that it's totally doable even if you're starting with a limited budget.
Yeah, that was a big one for me too. It's all about being strategic, planning carefully, and focusing on those cash flowing properties.
Exactly. It's not about getting rich quick,
Right.
but building sustainable wealth over time. And that's where the video's emphasis on cash flow really resonated with me.
It really drives home the point that you need to make sure the property is making you money from day one.
Right. And it's not just about collecting rent and calling it a day. You have to factor in all the expenses, your mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and even those pesky vacancies that can pop up unexpectedly.
Yeah, the video actually provided some really helpful tips on how to calculate cash flow accurately, taking all of those expenses into account. It's like a crash course in rental property accounting.
And remember those minor cosmetic renovations we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
It's amazing how strategic upgrades, even small ones, can have such a huge impact on your bottom line.
Seriously, the video highlighted cases where investors were able to increase their cash flow by hundreds of dollars per month just by updating kitchens and bathrooms.
It makes you realize that you don't need to do a complete gut renovation to attract tenants and boost your profits. Sometimes it's the small details that make the biggest difference.
So true. And speaking of attracting tenants, the video also had some really insightful points about choosing the right location.
Location is absolutely key. It can literally make or break your investment.
No kidding. Remember my close call with the recycling plant. Bad location, bad investment.
Exactly. You want to look for properties that are not only appealing to tenants, but also have the potential to appreciate in value over time.
So it's not just about finding a place that, looks nice. You need to think about the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
The neighborhood, the amenities, the schools, even the future development plans for the area.
Absolutely. And the video encourages you to think like a tenant.
Okay.
What would you be looking for in a rental property? What kind of amenities would make your life easier and more enjoyable?
That's a great point. I know I'd be looking for a safe, clean neighborhood, good schools, parks, and easy access to public transportation.
Exactly. And those are the same things that will attract quality tenants who are more likely to stay longer and take good care of your property.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of cash flow, choosing the right property type, finding a great location. What else should we be thinking about as we embark on this real estate adventure?
Well, the video stresses the importance of assembling a team of experienced professionals to guide you through the process.
That makes sense. I mean, buying a rental property is a big decision. It's not something you want to tackle alone.
Exactly. Having a good realtor, lender, inspector, and even a property manager on your side can make all the difference.
Okay.
They can offer valuable insights, help you avoid costly mistakes, and ultimately save you time and money.
So it's like building your own real estate dream team.
Exactly. And let's not forget about those tenants. Remember, finding great tenants is just the first step.
Right.
You also need to have a solid system in place for screening them thoroughly.
You're right. That tenant screening process can be a lifesaver. It's all about mitigating risk and finding people who will pay their rent on time and treat your property with respect.
It's like finding the perfect roommate, but with even higher stakes.
Huh. That's a great analogy. And I think it highlights another important point from the video. Real estate investing isn't just about the numbers. It's about people.
You're absolutely right. You'll be interacting with tenants, contractors, real estate agents, lenders, and a whole host of other people throughout your real estate journey.
Right.
Building strong relationships and being a responsible landlord can make all the difference in your success.
So it's not just about making money. It's about creating a positive experience for everyone involved.
Exactly. And that's something that the video really emphasized.
Okay.
It's about building a sustainable business, fostering positive relationships, and making a positive impact on your community.
Now that's what I call a win-win.
It is, and it's something to keep in mind as you move forward on your real estate journey.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling super inspired right now. This video has given me so much to think about, and I'm excited to start putting all of this knowledge into action.
Me too. It's clear that buying your first rental property is a significant undertaking, but with the right knowledge, a strategic approach, and a bit of hustle, it can be a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
Totally. And the video we've been discussing has provided a fantastic foundation for us to build upon.
It has. It's like a real estate cheat sheet, packed with actionable advice, insider tips, and even real-life examples that make the whole process feel less intimidating.
It's like having a personal mentor guiding you every step of the way.
Exactly. And it's a reminder that while there are many resources available to guide you, real estate investing is not a DIY endeavor. Having a team of experts on your side can save you time, money, and a whole lot of headaches in the long run.
Absolutely. But even with the best team in the world, it's still up to you to take action.
That's the key takeaway here, right? You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't put it into practice, it's meaningless.
So what's the first step? Where do we go from here? What should our listeners be doing right now to turn their rental property dreams into reality?
Well, the video actually lays out a really simple action plan for getting started.
Okay.
It recommends taking these 3 key steps. First, calculate your potential cash flow. Figure out how much money you could realistically make each month from a rental property. The video provides a really helpful formula for doing this, and there are even online calculator you can use to make it even easier.
Okay, so step one, crunch the numbers. What's next?
Next, research your local market. Get to know the neighborhoods where you're interested in investing. Look at property values, rental rates, vacancy rates, crime statistics, and even things like school ratings and proximity to amenities.
Got it. So step two, become a neighborhood expert. What's the final piece of the puzzle?
Talk to a lender. Get pre-approved for a mortgage so you know exactly what you can afford. This will give you a clear idea of your buying power and help you narrow down your property search.
All right, so there you have it. 3 simple steps to get you started on your journey to owning your first rental property. Calculate your cash flow, research your local market, and talk to a lender. But honestly, I think there's one more important step that the video didn't explicitly mention.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Believe in yourself. This video shows that buying a rental property is totally doable, but it takes confidence, determination, and a willingness to learn and grow.
I love that. You have to believe in your ability to achieve your goals.
Exactly. So remember, you got this. Now go out there and make those real estate dreams a reality. All right, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive, from crunching numbers to assembling your real estate dream team. But before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with something to ponder.
Okay.
This video we've been dissecting focuses on a specific strategy: buying duplexes every other year.
Yep.
And while that's a solid plan, it got me thinking: are there alternative paths to success in real estate?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. It's like the video gave us the blueprint, but now it's time to customize it.
Right. Exactly. What if you're more interested in single family homes?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're drawn to commercial properties. Or perhaps you're thinking outside the traditional financing box altogether.
It's so true. This deep dive is just the beginning,
Yeah.
It's about sparking your curiosity and empowering you to explore different options, to
Wow.
figure out what strategy aligns best with your goals and your risk tolerance.
Precisely. The key takeaway here is that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to real estate investing. Your ideal path might look completely different from the one outlined in the video, and that's perfectly fine.
That's right.
It's all about finding what works best for you. Maybe you're a slow and steady investor, happy to build your portfolio gradually over time.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're a go-getter, ready to dive headfirst into a larger project.
Exactly. The important thing is to do your research, explore different options, and create a plan that feels right for you. And don't be afraid to get creative.
Yeah.
Think outside the box, challenge assumptions, and maybe even, break a few rules along the way.
Yes. Embrace the adventure.
Right.
And remember, this is just the beginning of your real estate journey. There's so much to learn, so much to experience, and so much potential for growth and success.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
The most important step you can take is that very first step.
So true. Don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back. Take that leap of faith, put your newfound knowledge into action, and start building the future you envision for yourself.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of real estate investing. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and are feeling empowered to take action and make your rental property dreams a reality.
And remember, we're always here to support you along the way. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.